The latest leak about the Galaxy S26 gives every smartphone fan something to think about. In a time when nearly every brand is planning to raise prices, Samsung seems ready to take a different route, one that might actually make the Galaxy S26 stand out from the crowd. Industry insiders are warning that the cost of producing smartphones is set to rise sharply, mainly because of higher prices for essential components like memory chips. But Samsung appears to have an advantage that could help it avoid these price hikes, at least for now. Unlike many of its competitors, Samsung doesn't rely heavily on outside suppliers. It makes many of its own parts, including displays, memory, and processors. This structure, known as vertical integration, gives the company tighter control over costs and production. In simple terms, Samsung doesn't have to pay another company for key components, it produces them itself. Recently, Samsung's memory division informed clients that DRAM prices will jump by around 30% in the last quarter of the year. Interestingly, that's the same time the Galaxy S26 series is expected to go into mass production. But because Samsung uses its own memory chips, it can absorb this price increase more easily than competitors like Vivo, Oppo, Realme, and Xiaomi, who are already raising their phone prices due to rising costs. A South Korean report from New Delhi claims that Samsung's strong supply chain and in-house chip production mean it doesn't face the same pressure to raise prices, at least not immediately. This could allow the company to keep the Galaxy S26 series pricing unchanged from the Galaxy S25 lineup. One insider even mentioned that Samsung's vertical integration, structure, and inventory security could be the main reason it can hold prices steady for now. That gives the Galaxy S26 a huge advantage in today's uncertain market. However, not all reports are that optimistic. Another South Korean outlet, Hang recently stated that Samsung is considering increasing the price of its smartphones due to the overall rise in production costs. It's no secret that global inflation and component shortages have made it harder for companies to maintain prices. Still, Samsung has been very careful with pricing. One of the main reasons the Galaxy S25 sold so well was because it managed to deliver better performance and features without increasing the price. It gave customers more for the same amount of money, something few brands are managing to do right now. The upcoming Galaxy S26 is expected to feature the Exynos 2600 processor, at least in most regions. North America, China, and Japan will likely get the Snapdragon 8 Elite version instead. The Exynos 2600 is said to be a major step up from Samsung's previous in-house chips, not just in performance, but also in energy efficiency. But there's another motive behind this shift. By relying on its own chip instead of Qualcomm's, Samsung can significantly reduce production costs. This strategy helps the company avoid price hikes while maintaining profit margins, a move that could make the Galaxy S26 one of the only 2025 flagships to not deliver a price shock. That said, memory prices aren't expected to drop anytime soon. If costs continue to climb, Samsung may eventually have no choice but to increase prices with future models. For now, though, the Galaxy S26 might be the last flagship to keep its price steady before the wave of increases hits the smartphone market. The question many users are asking is simple. Would an unchanged price make the Galaxy S26 worth buying? For many, the answer depends on what competitors do. If other brands like Xiaomi or OnePlus are forced to raise prices, Samsung could easily become the safer and more affordable premium choice. However, there's a small catch. The Galaxy S26 series is reportedly facing a delay until March because Samsung decided not to discontinue the Plus model after all. This change in plan has caused some uncertainty and might affect how the launch is received. Leaks so far suggest the Galaxy S26 lineup won't bring any groundbreaking design or feature upgrades, at least not the kind that would justify a higher price. If Samsung keeps the cost the same, that could help attract more buyers who feel frustrated by rising flagship prices elsewhere. But if the company does increase prices later, it might face strong backlash unless the new phones offer a truly significant improvement. Overall, Samsung's ability to keep production costs under control is giving it a unique edge in a tough market. While competitors scramble to adjust to higher prices, Samsung's self-reliant manufacturing system could make the Galaxy S26 series one of the few premium phones that actually delivers value for money. If these leaks are accurate, the Galaxy S26 might not just be another flagship, it could be the only major phone in 2025 that doesn't make consumers feel overcharged. In a world where price hikes are becoming the norm, that alone might be the best reason to choose Samsung's next big release.